What's good? It's your boy, the T-shirt buddy. All right, so I'm hopping on really quick just to answer a question. I'm answering questions now. I'm nobody important. I'm nowhere that I want to be just yet. I'm right where okay, let me take that back. I'm right where I need to be, not where I want to be just yet, but that's what we're building to. Anyways, the question that I was recently asked is, how am I able to make it without a 9 to 5? Well, when you go into business for yourself, it's going to be tough at the beginning, right? And so I've had my issues, but I've been able to find a way to make things work for me. I've been able to make some money, stay alive, pay my bills, all from t-shirt stuff. So up until COVID, I had a job that I was at for 8 years. I left there, went to another job, and I thought, man, this is it. I got my own office. I'm doing it, right? I'd been waiting years to get this job or this opportunity that wasn't given to me at the job I was at before. COVID hits, and now I'm laid off. I don't have anything coming in. Unemployment, right? And we were waiting for that for a long time, but I had nothing coming in. I had some savings saved up, and obviously, I produce and whatever else. So I did have the music thing going, but to be honest with you, music money isn't as quick as what's been happening to me with the t-shirt stuff. I turned to something that I know, because I had been heat pressing shirts like way long ago. Like when I would have a show, I have a performance or whatnot, I'd heat press myself a shirt, just to do the show. So I knew I can go back to that. And I figured, you know what? Let me ask a few folks that I know are, printing shirts. Maybe they can print me a couple. I can start a line. Nobody hit me back. I've said this before, but a couple of people, and I talk about them like crazy because these people need to be mentioned anytime I do anything, because they took every single minute possible out of their day. Anytime I'd call, they were there, which is my brother Josh Buster and Lynn Riley. I'm going to throw their names out all the time. Get used to it. I'll leave some links for them, actually, because their work is fire. Nobody besides them hit me back. Absolute crickets. Nobody wanted to help me. The only messages I was getting back was, I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you in a couple days. Yeah, I got your back. And nothing ever came out of it. So I said, I'm going to take my savings. I'm going to take everything I got. I'm going to buy all my own stuff. And that's basically where I started, and I just started to buy things, one at a time. I was still pressing shirts with the transfer paper. And by the way, Nina, that brand is fire if you're going to do the paper transfers. Anyways, I started to make a little bit of cash right there. I said, well, let me keep investing in myself and, buying better equipment. And that's what I did. It felt like it was never going to happen because I had ordered everything off of Amazon first, right? I can't tell you the frustration within people. And FedEx, they lost 2 or 3 of my heat presses, my cutters, like you name it. And I went on and on with them for months. Couldn't find anything, or they couldn't find it. So I just bought everything off of Facebook Marketplace to get me started. Well, anyway, with that, I was able to start building this business. There is a third person. I forget to mention him. It wasn't that he helped me press any shirts, but he got my business on point. And that is one of my very close friends. His name is Coolio, known as the UndaDogg. If you follow rap music or hip hop in general, especially Vallejo, I'm going to throw that out there. Vallejo. I'm from the Crest. Well, half of my life was in the Crest. The other side was on Benicia Road. That's a whole nother story. But anyways, Coolio from the Crest, Vallejo, he helped me establish my business. Meaning he got me on the right path to getting my LLC, my seller's permit, SBA loans, you name it, wholesalers and whatnot. So I really credit him when it comes to that, because without him, I'm sure I would have gotten there. It would have taken a very long time. So I credit him for that. But anyhow, so I started to establish this business. I started to make videos like crazy, just, showing the process of me cutting something, how to use a Cameo to cut out images, just having fun, being myself. I was also able to add like my own beats, my production in the background of my videos. I'm actually SAG or after SAG actor as well. So I thought, I can't do any theater. I can't do any film. I can't have studio sessions. So what am I going to do? So I thought, I'm going to combine them all in one. So I started to make all these little silly videos, combine my music in the background, a little acting and being, silly. But at the same time, it's also being myself. And that worked for me. Seeing that it worked for me also led me to believe that I can do this full time and I can actually make a business that will last. There were some doubters. There were a friend or two who said I would never be successful without them. hella dumb. Because now what? Neither here nor there. So I figured like this is what I'm going to do. And I'm the type of person that once I start something, I give it my absolute all. I never, ever, ever give up until I know that there's no other way to make that happen. And that's exactly what I've done with this business. In doing so, I now realize that there's no way possible that I would go back to a 9 to 5. I mean, look, not to say that having one is bad, because if you got a great job and great benefits, and you can see yourself being there as your long-term career, retiring and so on, by all means, hey, I'm not knocking that. But for me and many people like me, I want that sense of freedom. And what I mean by that is I want to be able to make my own hours. I want to be able to take vacation when I want to take vacation. I want to be able to use some sick time if I'm really feeling sick, but not feeling bad about it. I don't want to wait for a supervisor or a boss, call me selfish, but I don't want to wait for them to tell me it's okay to take a vacation based off of somebody else, meaning like she has to wait or they have to wait until the next employee, gives them a for sure that they're taking that day or they're not, or that week. I can't do that. I can't see myself doing that. I want some sense of freedom. I'm one of the hardest workers on this planet, but I also want to be rewarded for it. So I felt like the company I was with, I was never going to get the opportunity to be a district salesman, right? I was never going to get those opportunities to grow any further than a cubicle I was sitting in. It just didn't work for me. And I was getting calls from these district salesmen and so on. And I'm answering questions. I'm helping them build their bank accounts. And that just didn't work for me. So I feel like I want to be careful how I say this. There's no way I can see myself retiring at 65 or 65 plus and then going out to try to enjoy my life. Not to say that, that you can't, but I feel like I'm just too young right now to watch all these opportunities pass me by. If I want to go visit a family member, a friend, spend some time with my children, I want to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Any time of the week, any time of the day. I want to be able to sleep in if I want to, which I don't because I wake up like at the crack of dawn. But if I wanted to sleep in during the weekends, I want to be able to have that opportunity. And there's just no way I can sit back in this cubicle and watch this person, supervisor, whoever it be, tell me when and when I can't take a pee break. You're telling me that I'm only worth a 30-minute lunch. Like that doesn't stick well with me. And I just feel like I want to be able to be in full control of my life. And that means every area of my life. That's just what works for me. Again, I'm not knocking anybody who has a 9 to 5. But for me, as an entrepreneur and having that entrepreneur mindset, I do not want to be held down at all. And so that's why I have given this my absolute all, and I have found success. And I just want to continue to build. Like I said, I'm nobody special. I'm just doing what works for me. What I will say to you is if you feel like, you know what, I want to take a jump, I want to take a leap, and I want to go into whatever it is that you want to do, by all means, go for it. It might be hard at first. I don't suggest doing it if you have no type of savings or some money sitting around somewhere, something that will be able to help you cover, for me, my mindset was I want to be able to at least cover half of a year. If nothing works for me, I want to be able to at least cover half of a year, so that if this doesn't work, I'm still able to pay my bills, and stuff like that. And I was able to do that. However, this worked for me a lot quicker than I expected. But don't just jump unless you have something, unless you have a partner or something that, that's understanding and says, hey, like, I understand there'll be some hard months. I have your back if that should be the case, and if it's just you by yourself, hopefully you have some type of savings saved up to be able to make that leap. But do not let time pass you by. Do not sit at some dead-end job. Do not give your life away to a company that will replace you the moment that you fall ill. We are so replaceable, it's ridiculous. I highly recommend that you take some time, sit down, plan it out. Don't sit there and waste your life away wanting to do something but never going for it out of fear. Fear will keep you trapped, and you can't live off of fear. Life is short as we know it, right? For me, I want to live as much as I possibly can. I want to live it all out. I want to be able to travel when I want. I want to be able to see parts of the world I've never been able to see before, because I've given and I've devoted my entire life, all of, my life working for somebody else. You know what I mean? And taking home a paycheck that only covers a few of my bills, maybe having a little something left over to, buy a dinner or go out to a movie, buy a pair of some like brand new kicks or whatever it is. I don't want that anymore. Now, I'm not a spender like that, but the feeling of like looking at my paycheck and my heart beating because I don't know what's going to be taken out or how much I'm going to have. And then the feeling of opening that paycheck, looking at the amount that I was just paid for all the hours that I put in, and knowing it's about to go like water because everything has to be paid, with nothing left over. That's why I feel like, for me, I just can't give my life away to anybody else. I want full control of it, and I'm going for it. So if that's you, go for it. Go for it. What's the worst that could happen? You got to go back and get another 9 to 5. If that's what happens with me, then hey, I'll do that. I don't see that happening. I truly, truly, truly don't. I have so many gifts and so many talents, and I want to use them. And I want to be young enough to use them. Anyway, I know this was a little longer than the other ones, and I hope that this helps. I was probably rambling a little bit. But anyways, I hope it helps somebody. What I need to do, though, what I keep seeing is like these little hairs that are popping out. Like, this is COVID-19 hair. I don't want to spook you or anything, but Lord,